Alright, YouTube, got my guy Marquise. Gonna be chopping it all off. Low taper, keep the beard, taper out the back. We're gonna be cutting the top down with our detachables. And then once it's all cut down, we're gonna wash it, get it to lay down, taper them up, get them nice and crispy. Let's go. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy 4 and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. Today we're going to be going in depth, so make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell to be notified on the new drop. First thing we're going to do is pick out my client's hair. This isn't super necessary, I just wanted to do it to show the true length. Now to start the cut down process, I'm going to take my detachable clippers with my 5-out blade, and I'm just creating a little opening so I could sneak in there with my guard. I have my Mythics with my 4-guard, and after that I switch to my detachable clippers, and I have the 3.5 blade on here. Now when you're dealing with detachable clippers, they do tend to cut off bulk a little bit more easily because it's a true blade. There's no guard or lever, so it's just cutting that true length. But I would recommend going with a higher guard than what you would usually use. So say you want to cut your client's hair down to a 2.5, I would go with like a 3 blade or a 3.5 blade just to be safe, because it's a metal blade, so it's cutting lower than a plastic guard. And the reason why I'm cutting it down like this is I want to ensure and be safe of the crown area. I don't want to patch it, so we're going slow and we're going with the grain. And this is just satisfying to watch, in my opinion. I love seeing stuff like this. He's been rocking the curly top for months now. Like, I've been cutting him for about a year and some change. He had this curly top the whole time. He wasn't growing it like, you know, just straight. He was getting it trimmed and stuff. So, but he said, look, I'm ready for the wave. So I gave him some recommendations for some wave products, and he's going to jump into the wave game. So we're going to try and get him started today. So we're just continuing the cut down process, taking it slow, taking our time. Now he does have a cowlick in the front, so I was kind of avoiding that area until the end. He usually just gets a temple fade, like a low taper, nothing off the top, and his hairline's weird. Like, it's very straight, it's very full, but we would cut it down lighter so that it would flow into the top, if that makes sense. But now, since it's going to be all even, we're going to see his true hairline today. We're going to make it really crispy. It's going to come out very crispy, as you guys will see. So I'm being careful around the ear, because once again, this is a metal blade. It can cut your client's ear, so be careful. What I'm doing right now is very risky. I wouldn't recommend it, going one hand around the ear like this. But the metal blades, it goes through bulk very well, very nicely. Shreds right through it. And as you can see, his hair, the length I'm cutting it down to, it's still curly a little bit, because I wanted to be safe, remember? Now say if I would have cut it down with a 2 blade, it would have been extremely low. You would have saw straight into his scalp. It's better to play it safe with hair, because once the hair is cut, there's no putting it back. So once that's done, we're gonna take our 3-guard with our Mythic clippers and go with the grain. And since his hair is still in that curl pattern, it's not trained to lay down yet. So this is going to help it lay down before we wash it. Now, washing your client's hair after he had all that hair on his head is a must. There's no way you can't do it. I don't care what any barber says, you should wash and condition the hair. Now, me personally, I think conditioning is very underrated, because it adds that moisture, that needed moisture, back into the scalp that you stripped from the hair during the shampoo. I think it's a great process. I love washing my client's hair. And as you can see, we're drying it with a towel and then jumping right back in with that same detachable blade, the 3.5 blade. And since we washed it, the hair was sticking up, so we laid it back down, blow dried it, and now we're just smoothing it back out. So once the hair is all cut down, what I recommend doing is grabbing a brush. In this case, I'm just going to use a soft brush and just brush all that unnecessary hair out his scalp, because when you cut the hair down, a lot of loose hairs get caught up in their hair and you don't want it to start falling out when they get home. So just brush it out for them. We started our taper process with our liners, then we went lever open, erased that line by playing with our lever halfway and then close. Now we have our 3 guard, and then I switched to my 1 guard, and I'm pretty much flicking out. This was kind of like a free-handed taper. This is my 2 guard. Notice how I'm using those corners of the blade, well, the guard, and I'm just flicking. I'm flicking. This is my 1.5 guard, my Babyliss 1.5. And this is my 0.5 Babyliss guard, which to me is like the 0.75 guard. And this is the true half guard, the Wall Premium 0.5 guard. And then to finish this taper off, we're just going to detail with our no guard lever open. And it's that simple, folks. Now we're going to do this other side. I sped it up for you guys. It's the same thing as the other side. Now if you notice, his vertical bars are small, so same thing with his C cup. So this isn't a bad thing either. A lot of people think that's usually an indication that the person wouldn't really look that good with a high taper. But yeah, so to do the back, we're doing the same thing. Gonna make that first guideline with our liners. Now our lever open, and the reason why I'm using my Babyliss is they just cut smooth sometimes, man. I love my Mythics, but these are smooth too. Then I grab my 1 guard, lever open, just going up a 1/2 inch, not a full inch. And right under that, I'm gonna close my lever fully, and I'm flicking out using my corners. And then instead of moving up, I'm gonna drop back down and just erase it with my 0.5 guard. I started with the Babyliss 0.5, and then it was my Wall Premium 0.5. And now I have my lever fully closed and I'm opening it as I go up. Now my taper process is very easy. I have a lot of videos talking about it. This is my 4 guard, and I'm basically debulking. I didn't use the 4 on the sides because the hair wasn't that long enough. This is my 3. Now the 2 guard, but notice how I'm not really flicking with this one. I'm being careful, using the full blade. And as you can see, the taper is really coming together now. I still have my 2 guard, just playing with that lever as I move up. Now I have my 1.5 guard, and I'm not using the full blade this time. I'm using either the left side or the right side of the blade, so notice that. Then I switched to my Mythics because my other clippers died, unfortunately. Y'all saw them blinking this whole time. Back with my 2 guard, detailing. And now we're just gonna shape it up. Now, his beard, he wants it like this. So I don't want y'all saying, oh, why does he want it? He's the only client I ever had that wants his beard like this. He doesn't like when I fade it in. He just likes it shaped up just like that, like a box at the top. So I know y'all gonna be weirded out, like y'all probably never seen this, but that's what my client wants. So all about the client at the end of the day. Now to get started on his lineup, we're going to take it down with our 2-guard, lever close. As you can see, he has a slight cowlick right there. It's not bad at all. So we're combing through. And now we're going to get started on the shape up. Keeping my blade straight. As I move towards the corners, I curve the blade a little bit. I bring it up towards the left side, or the right side of that blade. And these clippers is hitting, man. This is the deep tooth blade. And that's sharp. That's just sharp. So you guys can already pretty much map out the look of his lineup. It's gonna be kind of small in the C-cup area and the vertical bars, but it's gonna be sharp. We're gonna make sure it's sharp. So getting started on the C-cup, as you can see, this one's very high, and it's just small. So keeping that C natural, and we're gonna hit those vertical bars. And as you can see, it's crispy even before enhancements. We're not gonna enhance it a lot, just a little bit, just a couple sprays in the corner and on his cowlick, and he's gonna be good. This side wasn't as full on the C-cup, so I had a little bit of trouble, but we still got the job done. So that's how it looks before enhancements. Now we're gonna enhance it. Just a couple sprays, nothing too crazy. You never wanna overdo it. Just a couple sprays and he's good. So once again, this is how my client wanted his beard. We did touch up his facial hair. I'm not really gonna show it, but you guys will see the end result. And we're just detailing his lineup now. A lot of hair grows all on his face, like near his eyebrows. So now we're gonna use our Easy Blade razor. Shout out to Easy Blade. Go to that website down below and use my promo code the4thken to get 10% off your purchase. Now just notice I'm stretching the skin on both sides of his beard. And to finish off this haircut, we're gonna hit it with a freehand trim. Usually when you're doing a big chop, you're gonna need to do this. Just to get all those loose hairs, those parts that are over curling. And as you can see, y'all see them waves in there, just a little bit. Now we're gonna take some hydration spray them up. You can find this in my Amazon storefront. All the products I use today, you can find in my Amazon storefront down below. We're gonna brush that in. And this just gives it that natural look and shine. And we're gonna do some last minute detailing on this side of the taper. And as you can see, that's fire. So this is the before. And this the after. Please like, comment, subscribe. And let's tune into his reaction.
I'm gone.
No, I want you to see this.
Oh no, you did your thing with this, y'all. Oh yeah, I'm going out tonight, for sure.
Yeah.